and gentlemen, along with Nigeria.
Oh yes,
that is the champion for the few masters. There are some around. Joseph Chimba, I don't know if this is the same trophy, but it's a different trophy according to the picture. See here. Okay, let's have Nigeria, aka Luki Luki on table number 5. And this is the lady called Luki Luki. All from Kono Club and their friends. And now it's time to hustle. Let's see you take it on, ladies. You're playing rest to 7. You're playing rest to 7. Final man, rest to 11. Join me at AC. They're resting to 11. Losers match, men, rest to 7. Okay, it's time for show time. Let's see who take it on. DJ, you won't give me heavy music. Let's have that low sound. So this is the music too. Okay, now buy yourself a drink, buy yourself a bite, and enjoy pool on the table. Also, after this, we shall have the grand finale for the team event, and the third day of them we shall call it a day, and have the winning prizes and go around the top of bar. Wow, Silvio, let me hear what from Odisha, how this meeting up. Okay, I see you, you're a sportsman. Anaambia kuna makosa. Okay. Okay, game can kill now. Yes, Chome and all the media guys are now staying live. Now we go for time for short time. As we try and put the prizes here so that Omari kindly bring the prizes on the table here so that we play looking at the prizes, please. Omari, let's have the prizes on the table. I'll have to play for party appetite. Yaku and Mutu of Milan. Remember the grand finale for team events? The Michelle Knights will be battling with the Sniper from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Nothing shortly after these finals. On 3 tables. On 3 tables each match, so captains take no. Back is hold on.
Ngoja nimwangalie sisi anapokufa. Asanteni sana.
I'm trying to see how you create your contents.
It's a struggle, but it's a good thing to do. It disturbs me a lot, but I'm very happy when I'm doing it.
You do something that you like.
Exactly. I don't wish that I was a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't. Mbong mbili nyingi. Samzi Kibuga, weko na microphone. Kwani Mbongo
Oye, tiene uso.
Microphone check.
Are you a journalist by profession? Are you serious?
Mimi ni mwalimu kama Julius Nyerere.
Safi kabisa. High school, middle school.
Okay, we have two changes here. That floor will be made of controls, so now we can have all of us can work in families. See you.
Sifuri kumoja huko. Oa vipi? Kama kaa. Tupate uongozi wanataka kwa kama uongozi kwa fresh Tanzania wanaotaka wangapi hapo tutajua usalama. Arusha ndio sijawisha. Kama hii finali ya Simba.
Okay, after the round now, we shall have a sample for tea on 3 tables.
Break. Bila break ndani yake. Haipana lagi na kila siku. Jambo pia unaweka pale katikati yote sawa. Hapo unabila mazoezi. Hapo bila break yenyewe. Unaelewa? Bila siku na yeye pale katikati ndio unapanga na yeye pale ndio sawa. Unatoa hebu. Lakini break ni farani. Alisema kuna nani wapi ya kupiga geti yetu na wewe Come on, Mbong.
Welcome aboard, dear viewers, for this one final time, at least in the singles. It is the last match in what have been over 200 matches in the men's singles event. This is the second edition, for the last time in the singles for the men again, in the second edition of the Q Masters International Carnival. We are in the Tanzanian city of Arusha. Beautiful city it is. When it means to be cold, it is cold. When it means to be hot, it's even hotter. Right on the steep slopes of the mountain Meru, whose steepest cliff is facing right into the city. Now on the road that goes from Njiru to from the city is Q Masters Pool Arena, with all of them 13 pool tables that have been the center of attraction for African pool for the space of the last 5 days. If you are to factor in the curtain raising comp that was played last Thursday, and then this festival that started Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. Today is the evening of Monday, 8th of December 2025. The final is being contested between Uganda's Cesar Chandiga, donning the colors of Uganda, that is black, yellow and red, most of it red but having a shade of black and yellow. And then Mbongo, he's actually called Abdallah Miraji, hailing from Dar es Salaam in this same country, Tanzania, the guy that is now on table. They are racing to 11 for a chance to be called the second edition champion of the Q Masters International Carnival in the men's singles. This live stream with the same exact commentary is being shared on 4 platforms: Break and Finish Live, Facebook, Mchana Pool Club, YouTube, Peter Chebe Live YouTube, as well as Sam's Pool TZ Facebook, being presented to you at least in audio by myself, Simon Peter Chebe. I want to pass a special round of thanks to Q Masters for not only organizing this competition for pool, but also for myself inviting me to do what I simply love doing, and then facilitating my whole travel, including the return bus fare, all of the accommodation and data charges and meals. Thank you, Peter and Timber. Thank you, Dar es Salaam. Thank you, Arusha. Thank you, Tanzania Pool Fraternity. You may as well have to thank Mbongo if he comes within one frame of Caesar, if he gets to win this frame. It is the work of potting now for Reds. 3 of them left of the table, 1 of them close to the bottom right cushion. He has been one of the revelations of the tournament. Not a revelation in terms of the fact that he's only just up and coming, because he's not. But he's not a very busy player, not very active in terms of participation in these international comps. He even very rarely plays money matches, because we watch Sam's Pool TZ quite a few times, but most of the time it is Mafia, it is Kelvin, it is Royd, it is Saif, it is Dula, it is Amadeus. It is not Miraji, but it is Miraji, the guy that is nicknamed Mbongo, who has been the best of all Tanzanian players in this competition. I would say that not only in the singles, but also in the team event. He's making appearance of the table for the first time to come within 1 frame of the obvious tournament favorites, the Ugandan Cesar Chandiga, who wants to make some piece of history for himself, having won the Billiards Cafe Double Life competition just exactly 7 days ago last week, wanting to sum up an excellent end of year if he wins as well this Double Life competition that is happening in the neighboring country of Zambia, that is now Tanzania. Mbongo will want to pot red to the bottom right corner pocket, perhaps have a big top spin cue ball following the red, right bouncing off the cushion, then moving back around the middle point of the table. He may want to pot black to the side pocket on the right. That is the shot. It's played into the black. That's not what he wanted whatsoever. He plays himself in some kind of trouble. The shot, in terms of the guidance of the cue ball, lacked a little bit of direction. He goes for the bank, with the black being played into yellow, with no success whatsoever. That miss by Mbongo creates even more silence at the venue, that is Q Masters. Of course, the fans are Mbongo supporters. They are Tanzanians. They want one of their own to win an international comp for the very first time. It may not be the case unless he starts winning, especially speaking of the next frame, because this one is pretty much as good as gone. One of Africa's best players in Caesar on the verge of taking a 3 frames to nil lead by potting black to the corner pocket top left, and the blank is sunk and the lead is increased. Abdallah Miraji 0, Cesar Chandiga 3, rest to 11, grand final. The third place match is happening between Zambia's Moses Mafia and Tanzania's Hisai Hamad. Every time I get a chance, I'll be updating you in what is happening. Also, two matches with the same exact implication. The third place match in the ladies event is happening between Uganda's Juliet Namuhanga, nicknamed Longoria, taking on Kenya's Penny Nanjoki, nicknamed PR, Racing to 5. Then the ladies grand final is an all Ugandan affair between two teammates at a club and international level, that is Amina Faith Nganda and Rukia Naiga. I'll be giving you updates of those matches every time I do get a chance, but the official update in the bigger match of them all is having Caesar leading against Mbong, as I will be calling Abdallah Miraji, because when you look for Abdallah Miraji in Dar es Salaam, you will hardly get him. When you go to any pool playing venue in the city and ask for Mbong, they will direct you where he is, because that is who they know him as. Realize that is what they call him. He did produce something of a speciality in the team event, where his team, that is the Shooters, lost in the quarterfinals to the Ugandan team Danger, who will, by the way, also be playing a third place match against Kenya's Gladiators. Mbongo won the first 3 frames in the match, all of them by apples, by break and finish. I don't know if that kind of thing had ever happened to Tanzanian pool. Where I come from in Uganda, in the history of the league, it has only been done twice, and yet millions of frames have been played across the last 20 years. Now, in the 4th frame, in the final, Mbongo is utilizing a scratch on the break by Caesar to make a clearance. That is giving him his first frame. Mbongo 1, Caesar 3, race to 11.
Finali ya timu mnaanda nani? Sniper nani? Finali. Sisi ndio wapiga hao zenyewe. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's great, Buri.
It's a smart TV. Yeah.
One thing I've loved about Q Masters for the 2 times I've been in the country of Tanzania during the course of the year, the fans are very friendly. They create an atmosphere favorable for both players, irrespective of whom they be supporting. Right now, they are clearly supporting Mbongo. When Caesar is playing, they hold their peace and let him play. When it is Mbongo's time, they cheer their star on. For the shot that has been played last, there will be nothing that they will be cheering home about Mbongo, because so far for the course of the match, every time Caesar has been getting opportunity, sometimes a full, sometimes a half opportunity, he has been utilizing it quite good. He wants history, he wants the trophy, he wants victory, he wants money. An even bigger piece of history if Mbongo is to come from behind and win this match, because for him it will be the first ever international competition in the singles that he will ever have won. As for Caesar, the last time out that he was in Tanzania, he was second in the last edition of the Q Masters International Carnival, then a single life competition in which he reached the final against Zambia and Q Masters Roy Kabwe, with Caesar losing the match. I really saw a big burst of celebrations for the Zambians and Tanzanians. Of course, all Tanzanians were supporting Roy because he's Tanzanian manager, he's a member of the Q Masters team family. But of course, the Zambians were also in some good numbers, some who came with their team supporting as normal fans, and also there is a relatively big community of Zambians living in Dar es Salaam. Of course, Tanzania is neighbors with Zambia. And then the reception of Royd at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport in Lusaka when he went back. So comic, but so worth it. Mbong will want that same kind of reception when he goes back to Dar es Salaam tomorrow, only if he can win this match against Caesar. His performance has already been good, but it's true that it's the less fancied of the two players, most especially that this is the biggest match of Mbongo's life. In a grand final of a major African Cup for the first ever time, he may get himself snookered. I think he was okay. That is balance of power plus. Mbongo wants to put both yellow and black to corresponding side pockets, left and right, to record a second for himself. And in quick succession, a confidence boost, a regain of morale, the instill of support in the fans, and the belief that he can take down the Scorpion by winning frame number 5. Mbongo 2, Caesar 3. Race to 11.
Vamos a lá, Vele,
Once again, dear viewers, you are watching the grand final of the Key Masters International Carnival, which is in its second edition. The competition does have its defending champion in Zambia's Royd Kabwe having been exited in the second live semi-finals by Saif Hamad, who was then in the second live final exited by this guy Abdallah Miraji. He's nicknamed Mbong by the Tanzanian pole fraternity. He's relatively very little known, but he has proved to be a class player throughout the course of this competition in both the singles and the team events. He's resident in Dar es Salaam, wanting to make a very big impact 14 hours north of Dar es Salaam in the city that is closest to the border between Tanzania and Kenya at Namanga. He now is on the verge of winning a third frame in a row. Mbong inspires a round of applause from the Tanzanian fans, making it now realistic that he could take down the Scorpion on his own game. He's the guy that plays more finals than not. It is Mbong who is equalizing this time round. Abdallah Miraji 2, Caesar Chandiga 3, race to 11. Sorry, it is 3-3 between Miraji and Caesar. Big shout out to you, William Mwansa. You're predicting that Caesar will lose this final. Made Love, thank you for watching. To Simon Mathias, you love Caesar for the entertainment, alright. Amon Mode, thank you for watching. Just as is Council David, must be watching from somewhere in Kampala. Fanfad, thank you for watching, supporting Caesar Man on the YouTube stream. Chimera Julius, just as is Moses. You say you're watching live from Acholi in Uganda, definitely supporting Caesar. Emma Texel, thank you for watching. You want Caesar not to give his opponent hope. No, it is the opponent giving himself hope. All the 3 frames he has been winning have been won with sheer class and brilliance. Derek Delight, thank you for watching and appreciating the stream. John Bosco, you said that Caesar has been playing like you. You have to be a good player, John Bosco. I'm kidding. Also, a few shout outs to those of you in your usual hundreds watching on the Facebook stream. Daniel Sato Nyangolo, welcome to the stream. Shumba Atel Panashe, Lazaro Mwansa, you are enjoying from Zambia, Lusaka. I want to thank you're supporting Caesar, most especially him, having been resident in Lusaka for 3 years. Kuzashi Sungisai, thank you for watching. You want me to tell you about this tournament? Okay. It is organized at a venue that is called Q Masters in the city of Arusha in Tanzania. Now, Q Masters is one of the biggest brands in Tanzanian pool. It is not only a pool club, it's also a brand, also a tournament organizer. They have 3 branches in Tanzania. That is 3 branches of their venues. One in the city of Dar es Salaam, another in the city of Dodoma, another in the city of Arusha. Now the Arusha branch of Q Masters is hosting this competition, which is in its 2nd edition. The 1st edition was played 5 months ago. It was won by Zambia's Royd Kabwe. That's tournament where he did beat Caesar in the final to inspire lots of cheers and celebration from fans jointly between Zambia and Tanzania. This one is in its 2nd edition. Its organization has been 3 tournaments in one: a team event, that has got 10 teams participating. They are now in the final, which is the match that shall be played next and last between the Tanzanian team Sniper as well as the Kenyan team Mchana Knights. Then there is a singles event for the men, which is the one that we are playing. It has been close to 100 players playing a double life championship. All of them have had 2 lives, but none of them took the 2 lives even to the semi-finals of the respective side of the chart. So it is now the grand final. The winner of the first life was Caesar. The winner of the second life chart was Abdallah Miraji Mbong. So the winners of both lives have to face off in what we call a grand final, which is the match that you are watching now. The ladies event is as well happening. Grand final is an all Ugandan affair between Ethiopia and Amina. It also has a third place match between Julie of Uganda and Penina of Kenya. The men's third place match in the singles is being played between Mofia and Saif. Isaac Sekaondi, thank you for watching from Zambia Maide. Awabaka, thank you for watching. You say you are a full-time Ginte supporter. Today you are on loan supporting Caesar. That is funny. Martin Silk saying that Mongo is a very good composite player. Yes, he is. In his biggest match of his life. Major final, only for the very first time, and playing well enough to invite Caesar to. A free shot attempt. If Caesar misses, he's red. No confidence from Mbongo. Remember, he went 3 frames to 1 down against Saif, who was playing so well throughout the course of the tournament. But how one-sided the rest of the match was. Mbongo winning frame after frame after frame, winning his second live final, setting up a date with Caesar. Mbongo starting off with a few unforced errors. Of course, this being his first time final, the nerves are always unavoidable. Now he seems to be getting the gold of himself. There's no big problem in that big distance between white and yellow, but he will be okay, pretty much cuttable with some kind of ease to the center pocket. Oh no, he took it so casual. He missed the pot. This could mean him missing the frame. This could mean him missing to take the lead. Allah is 11 at 10. You say it is raw talent versus experience. Perhaps you are calling Caesar the experienced player and Mbongo the player with the raw talent. Maybe raw in the final, but he has been playing pool for quite a while, most especially in Dar es Salaam. Caesar is not all that experienced either. He has been playing pool only for now 7 years. This is his 8th year. Just that he has been so successful to have been in the limelight for only 8 years. For the 8 years he has been playing, not all of them competitively and not all of them in the limelight. But he has one of the most blossoming careers on the African continent, if not the most blossoming. Now Snooker's Mbongo, who seems contented that it is not a total snooker from Caesar, with Mbongo having some slight sight of the yellow. Here comes Mbongo, perhaps going for the bank of the yellow, off the cushion. It's not in, not anywhere close to being in. It is instead so close to having Caesar take the lead, which he last had just about 15 to 20 minutes ago when he led by 3 frames to nil. Mbongo coming up bright to win the next 3 frames. Looks like Caesar is on the verge of winning a 4th for himself, the 7th overall frame in the match. At one point I thought he would play not to port, so that he plays snooker. That's not scissors game style. Anyways, we'll want to roll the red to the center pocket right with a little bit of just a roll. The pot of the black will give the scorpion the 4th out of 7. There he goes. Caesar 4 and Mbong 3. That was close to a foul in the eyes of some of the fans who were wondering what had really happened. It is clear that the shot was not only legal, it was so effective. Looks like the Scorpion is on the verge of regaining a 2 frames lead. Has 2 reds on the table, both in space. The one closest to the bottom of the table will be played first. Cue ball being drawn backwards. Naturally, it bounces off the left cushion. It is in natural rhythm. As long as he rolls the red to the center pocket right, cue ball naturally moves in a position where he puts the black to the corresponding center pocket left. Just like that, the rest is a formality. Seemingly likely, even as successful as Caesar has been, never has he won 2 international comps in succession. This time round, he's on the verge of making a big statement as one of Africa's best, if not the very best today, in terms of how consistent he is. This year has been quite mixed for him, has gotten good and bad times, most of them good. A winner of 12 comps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those that are kind of local in Uganda, weekly, monthly, and name it. He has played perhaps 4 money matches. No, he has played 5 money matches this year in 3 countries on 2 different continents. Winning 3 and losing 2. Winning against Aiden Joseph in Kenya. Winning a money match against a player whose name I like to forget so much in the United Kingdom when he played Ultimate Pool for the first time. He also won a rematch against the Ugandan Hazard, which is the recent of them all. He however lost a money match, which was the first against Hazard, but before then he lost a money match against Chris Manning in Bolton by 21 frames to 20. Oh, will I forget, he also lost a money match against Ethan Chetty, the South African, in Johannesburg. I'm right to have forgotten, because he only lost in terms of money count. He did not win, he did not lose in terms of actual frames won. He had started the young man with +7, but Ethan won by 21 frames to 18. When you factor in the 7 frames, the actual score had Caesar winning. He simply lost the money. One of his biggest achievements in his relatively young but successful career saw him winning the Commonwealth Billiards Championships. Is the official Commonwealth champion in Heibo. It is that tournament where he won against Chris Melling in the semi-finals and winning against India's Shivam Aurora, 2 accomplished international Heibo stars in the match. Now he's winning a 3rd frame in a row for the 2nd time in the final, limiting Mbong to being a spectator of 3 consecutive frames, with Caesar extending his lead to 3, just as it was after 3 frames. It is Mbong 3 and Caesar 6 in a race to 11. Yes, Adias Mohamed, he was called Simon Attacking Ball, the guy that Caesar defeated in Bolton after losing out against Chris Melling.
Final grand finale, Caesar from C, 6 losers all that playoff. Ofia taking on Bongo.
Frame number 10. Why the Scorpion hits the balls big. Looks dry. Dry break from Caesar. It is. And the Tanzanian fans are chanting, come on Mbongo. He needs them for support. They need him to show a little bit more courage. The better he plays, the more they support, the more inspired Mbongo is. Maybe the more pressure onto Caesar. It's just that in terms of experience in matches as big like this, Caesar couldn't even be in the same line with Mbongo. There comes Mbongo, dear viewers, demonstrating that he's only down, not yet out. He has shown not just in this final itself, but also the rest of the competition that he has the quality to take down any player in not just this competition, but in my opinion also the continent, because he has a very good pattern. He's also well composed. What we are left to see is, even if in a final he can recompose himself when taking on a guy as good as is Caesar. With Caesar winning the first 3 frames in a row, Mbongo winning the next 3, then Caesar bounces back with 3 frames in a row for the 2nd time in the match. That can be quite bullish. And Mbongo has to demonstrate if he's now up there. If he can play as good as he normally does at a stage this big. Here he is, looking set to take full advantage, full utilization of a dry break from Caesar. Looking at the cue ball in terms of its position, looking at the red closest to the cue ball, also closer to the side, to the bottom left corner pocket. I want to believe it's the ball he will be playing first, but drawing it backwards as he puts it to the corner pocket as well, with the right English on the cue ball, spinning it rightward such that it naturally moves towards the right end of the table. The easier option for Mbongo will be to put the last red to the side pocket, top left. There he goes, instead with the direct backspin off the top end of the table, back into space. It is beautifully done, beautifully worked out, well thought and beautifully played. Sign of composure even under pressure. There he is again. Goes for the center pocket and gets it right. Cue ball off the cushions. Even better movement of the cue ball. Well. No better way to inspire the fans, to make them happy, to make them believe, to make Tanzania think that yes, this may be the day they will be winning an international cup with one of their own for the very first time. Red apple from Abdallah, Miraji, Mbong 4, Caesar 6, rest to 11.
Okay, we're running out to the finals. Going for the men and ladies. Here we have the cameo for portables. We shall have it.
Updates from other matches. The ladies' third place match between Kenya's Penina Rose and Uganda's Juliet Namohanga has been won by the Ugandan in a rest of 5 frames to 2. Those two players have faced each other thrice in the competition. In the first life, it was Penina who won against Julie by 5 frames to 4. In the second life, it was Julie who won against Penina by 5 frames to 2. They faced off again in the third place match, with Julie winning with pretty much the same exact score. The men's third place match is as well done. A rest to 7 it was between Zambia's Moses Mafia and Tanzania's Saif Hamad. It has been Mafia coming third. There was a decisive frame when the match was tied at 6 frames apiece, with Mafia winning by 7 frames to 6. The ladies' grand final is as well in progress between the two Ugandans, Rukia and Amina, teammates at club and international level, with the tournament favorite, also the defending champion Rukia Naiga, racing to 6, is now leading by 3 frames to 0. The men's grand final is on, with the Ugandan Caesar Chandiga leading against the Tanzanian Abdallah Miraji by 6 frames to 4. Welcome aboard. For those of you who are watching on Break and Finish Live Facebook, welcome to Mchana Pool Club YouTube, Peter Chebe Live YouTube, as well as Sam's Pool TZ Facebook, where this audio is being shared to the same video. And there we go. It looks tricky. Caesar trying to finish this frame. If he plays, the red is looking up to the center pocket. He'll perhaps need a combination shot after that. That is what he's subjecting himself to. Both follow shot and backspin in terms of reds following them, for red following yellow, but the cue ball being drawn backwards. That's what he wants to do, because all three balls have to be put to the same pocket. And yes, he did not exactly need to spin backwards. He grants himself a relatively hard clearance this time, again, even though having perfected the combination. Once he rolls the red to the side pocket right, cue ball will not be natural for black. It is a cue ball dragged bigly. That's a lot of skill from the Scorpion, because after the cue ball bouncing off the cushion, it lost its power. From an ordinary player, the cue ball could have moved far leftwards after bouncing off the cushion. But yes, Caesar is not an ordinary player. Now wants to roll the black right against the rail to the corner pocket. Looks off. Yes, it is off. Advantage Mbongo, just that the cue ball is so distant away from the first yellow. Mbongo will perhaps be tempted to play maybe bank off the cushion towards the corner pocket where there is the black. He goes for a direct shot. Very good cueing from Mbongo. Maybe that was one of the better shots in the final so far. And you don't play that when you have never ever been in a match this big. Maybe at the end of the day, Mbongo is exactly who he thinks he is. He not only has to move the cue ball a little closer to the position of the black. This is good in motion from the Tanzanian. He's full of potting power, full of self-confidence, full of belief, full of cue ball manipulation, full of confidence in the final, and full of another frame one, a second in a row, for the second time in the match, as fans will start tipping him with some Tanzanian shillings. Mbongo 5 and Caesar 6. We have a 2-minute water break for Mbongo, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, the score is 6-5 with Caesar leading against Abdallah Miraji. Ladies and gentlemen, Mbong is meaning business here. It has been a match of sessions so far, 6 of them. The first session of 3, all 3 won by Caesar. The second session of 3, all 3 won by Mbong. Third session of 3, all won by Caesar. The last session of 3, all won by Mbong. This race to 11 in the final. Now it is both of these players each needing to win 5 to make themselves a winner. All those 5 to succumb to being second. Mbong 6 and Caesar 6 in the grand final, with Mbong breaking frame number 13, putting himself in pole position to take the lead for the first time in the match. If he can win the frame, maybe with break and finish, aiming for the second ball. The yellow hits it hard, has one yellow ball sunk. The suspect spirit of the balls, with the yellows occupying largely the top end of the table and reds the bottom end, but there is a red that is in front of the yellow, just at the area near the corner pocket, top right where Mbong is now standing. He seems to be so keen. For most African players, Caesar has set some kind of standard that you want to win against him, but it feels so special winning against him. He broke and finished 3 frames Mbong in the team quarter-final against Uganda's team Danger, where Caesar plays for. He broke and finished against Caesar. Then about 30 minutes after the end of the match, he came to me and asked me to crop out the video of himself breaking and finishing against Caesar, hopefully for him to share it on his socials, maybe announcing himself through this match that he has arrived on the big stage, Mbong. And if he can play this good for some good time, if he can maintain this kind of consistency, he will really mean to be a very special player. Most of you would really have preferred a final between Saif and Caesar when we were following the updates in this second live final when Saif was taking on Mbong. But believe you me, Mbong is giving Caesar a harder time than Saif did when the two faced off the last time, actually the last 2 times. He could take the lead for the first time if he can make a clearance over these now forwards. He has played his cue ball completely out of position.
View yourself. You see if everything is working.
There has been a temporary network glitch, most especially on the YouTube stream. Please accept my apologies for Mama Samia's network issues. I believe that it has been sorted, because I am now watching the same stream on another phone, and the YouTube stream looks to be as flawless now as flawless can be. What is not flawless now is Caesar's playing level. I want to think that perhaps he may have intended to play some kind of safety, maybe play not to pot, maybe he just missed the ball under the guise of pressure that is being mounted by Mr. Mbong, who I believe will now start to be on high demand to participate in these international competitions, because he has used this one to announce his big arrival on the international stage. He has, however, gotten to play a shot that was supposed to be so big but has been so ineffective because it was only slightly inaccurate, leaving 6 yellows for Caesar, all in space. Black so close to the corner pocket. You get the feeling Caesar will want to finish the frame, will want to gain his lead. He has experience in the finals in his favor. Mbong with the home ground advantage of the tables and the supporters in his favor. Caesar misses yet another ball. Mbong gets yet another opportunity. The final is starting to slowly but steadily shift in favor of the Tanzanian. It's a country, Tanzania, where Caesar has a lot of good memories. He did make a tour of this country coming to 2 years ago. He played many matches against the majority of Tanzanians' better players. He won all of them, some of them even with head starts. He then played too many matches in Tanzania against Jeremiah Naidu, Jerry, the South African, in 2023, with Caesar winning one match and Jerry winning the other. It was in fact Jerry who won the first, Caesar winning the rematch the following day. Of course, he returned to Tanzania earlier this year to participate in the Q Masters International Carnival First Edition. Most of it can as well be regarded as success. He won the curtain raising comp of 16 players. And then he came second in the main event. The worst he could come even in the second edition this time round is second, as Mbong plays combination shots, watching both red and yellow opening up the center pocket. I'm not so certain the cue ball he's going to himself is sufficient enough to pot either of the two reds of his left on the table. The one towards the side pocket right is potable, pretty much by sharp cut, and to the same center pocket it's close. The cut has to be extremely sharp, almost to the intention of trying to miss it. It could as well have the cue ball being played into the block. It as well has to be played with power. That means you will have very little control of the resting position of the cue ball. If it did come that way, he will be counting on luck. The cut is so sharp, the shot is effective enough, also avoiding any contact with block. It's on the verge, but not yet there. The task ahead of him, Mbong, is to put red to the side pocket left, cue ball bouncing off the cushion with the left spin on it, such that it moves rightwards off target. Unfortunate. It was actually right English on the cue ball, but not right enough. Two yellows for the Scorpion, portable with ease. A red for Mbong, which more likely than not could be the last ball on the table after this frame is done and dusted. Now Caesar needing to put one more yellow to the corner pocket top left keyboard, bouncing off the cushion and then moving rightwards, but close can be to the black. Perfect queuing from the Scorpion. Needing now to roll the black. He has once in this match failed to perfect the cushion drive. That's why this one will be teasing. This time round, Caesar gets it right and regains the lead in my opinion, the most closely contested frame of all of them 13 in the grand final so far. Abdallah Miraji 6 and Caesar Chandiga 7, rest to 11 for the money. A dry break by Caesar. The majority of the traveling players will be exiting Tanzania, some of them tonight, by the way. For Caesar, I think it is tomorrow. He has a flight with Air Tanzania using the Kilimanjaro International Airport, about 40 kilometers from where we are. And then myself with a beautiful bus ride to Kampala through Nairobi. Of course, all the Tanzanian players, the vast majority of them coming from Dar es Salaam. It is 14 hours on the road, most especially during the day when they have to go through some kind of traffic. It's less if they choose to travel during the night. Very beautiful memories that shall live forever with us. In Arusha in Tanzania, the good organization, the long races, the welcoming pool tables, the outside view with the city right facing the steepest cliff of Mountain Meru. For some time the mountain being covered with its highest peak by the clouds. When there are enough winds, the clouds are blown away, then you see the whole mountain looking grey and beautiful, as beautiful Africa always is. The welcoming nature of the Tanzanian people, very, very hospitable. The chance to meet players sometimes whom we normally see on social media when Samson Kiboga streams these games from Dar es Salaam, and the fans seeing some of the players whom they normally watch online. Meeting for myself and many of the followers in Tanzania who normally watch my streams when they come, most of them from Uganda where I'm based, and getting to meet them and then having fun and then sharing ugali and then beautiful stories. Some of them confessing having become addicted to pool because of my work. That all feels good. There is one major similarity that has been throughout the course of this match. Every time one of these guys has been winning a frame, it has been followed up by another and another by the same player. After Mbong winning 3 frames in a row, Caesar is winning a second in a row and extends his lead to a second frame. After 14 played, it is Abdallah Miraji 6 and Caesar Chandiga 8. during the clearance by Caesar. There was about a 1 minute loss of video on the Peter Chile Live YouTube stream. Once again, accept my apologies. It is Mama Samia's network. I'm kidding. Frame 15 being broken by Mbong. He's always aiming for the second ball. One yellow made and a red with an open table. I want to think that Mbong will want to go for the yellows because there is a red which is a dead one close to the side pocket right. He's playing reds instead, but he wants the keyboard to be played into the red that is so close to the yellow to have his frame split open for him to go for it once and for all. He does exactly that, but not too much space between red that has been played open and yellow and the cushion, making the frame look relatively tricky. There is also a black occupying part of the side pocket left. Mbong may want to put a red there. Some tempting shot where he could put one of those reds off yellow and off black. It will create a big opening of the pocket. Once again, off yellow and off black. Off yellow, not off black. But yes, there is some kind of opening because they will be dead of all of them now for yellows on the table. The one that is rightwards is still portable to the same side pocket. He may now want to play again off yellow. I want to think off yellow, and the red is now split even further open, with Mbong standing a better chance of finishing the frame now and finishing it by break and finish. Once again, you are watching the grand final of the Masters International Carnival second edition. It has one big similarity with the first, that there is one player involved in both grand finals. It is the Ugandan in Caesar Chandiga, who together with Aiden Joseph are becoming the most consistent players on the court today. And consistent can as well mean to be good, because you can only be positively consistent if you are consistently good. Mbong will not want to see Caesar winning a third consistent frame, because he's on the verge of winning it instead with an apple, a green one. I want to think it could be for the third time in the match. He's pulling one frame back, the Tanzanian Mbong now on 7, the Ugandan on Caesar on 8. The defending champion of the Q Masters International Championship in the ladies category, the Ugandan Rukia Naiga, is leading again in the grand final against club and country teammate Amina Faith Nganda by 5 frames to 1 in race to 7. This puts Rukia in pole position to win the match. It could be the 4th tournament that is being won by the Ugandan girl out of 4 this year on the continent, as Caesar in the grand final of the men's event extends his lead again to 2 frames. Now starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. It is 9 frames to 7 with 5 frames to go. Caesar needing to win 2, Mbong needing to win 4. It could be one of those tournaments starting to look like perhaps Mbongo is fighting hard. Sometimes Caesar just doesn't accept him even to fight at all in some of the frames. But yes, a budding player he is. I want to think that we are going to be watching him in latter stages of matches for so many times, and his performance will be challenging Q Masters to sponsor him for way more events. He has outshined some of the Tanzanian players that are normally the ones that are really looked at, the Abdallah Husseins, the Innocent Samis, the Saif Hamads of this world. It is a second final in as many as when an East African, perhaps an African competition has its final between a Ugandan and a Tanzanian. Actually, it is the 3rd. Yes, it is. The Grand Mchana 2023 was played between Uganda's Ebra Sejemba and Tanzania's Saif Hamad. The 2024 edition was played between Uganda's Caesar Chandiga and Tanzania's Innocent Sami. The 2025 Q Masters International Carnival 2nd edition is played between Uganda's Caesar Chandiga and Mbongo. Some kind of rivalry between the Tanzanians and the Ugandans. On the early 2 occasions, the Ugandans coming out victorious. The same people look to be on the verge of taking a 3rd in a row. Some history between Ugandan and Tanzanian pool for the last 10 plus years. The Tanzanians, they are the much more fancied team, the much more fancied set of individual players. They even played a money match at international level in the year that was 2012 in Kampala at a place that was called Lumas Bar. I was only watching, and the only player that is still active today of all the Tanzanians that traveled that I normally see is Omari Akida, who has not participated in this competition. He is in Eswatini. He instead chose to participate in the Eswatini Pool Carnival that was being streamed live by Francis Mpepe. They won against the Ugandans. And there was some side money for the match. They again faced off at the All Africa Pool Championships national teams. These were in 2014 at the African Pool Championships in Tanzania. This time around in Dar es Salaam, the match was won by the Tanzanian team that came third after the champions of the day, South Africa, and then the runners-up Zambia, Tanzania third, and Uganda fourth. After them, the next time that they faced off was at the group stages of the All Africa Pool Championships in 2022 in Lusaka, with the Tanzanian national team winning in the group stages. Both teams did win their matches in the quarterfinals after qualifying from the groups. Those two same countries, Tanzania as group leaders, Uganda in second. They then lost their respective semi-finals, the Ugandans to the Zambians and the Tanzanians to the South Africans. In the third place match, victory went to Uganda. Since then, Tanzania has never beaten Uganda. Nowadays, the Ugandans are a little more dominant. Like I've just told you, two big comp finals between Ugandans and Tanzanians being won by the Ugandans. But wait, there was another time when a Tanzanian won an East African comp that was organized last year in the Kenyan city of Kitale, sponsored by Senator Alan Chesang. It was 6 Ugandans in the quarterfinals and then 2 Tanzanians. One Tanzanian, Amadeus, was defeated by Hazard. Then in the semi-finals, it was 3 Ugandans and 1 Tanzanian, Saif Hamad. He did beat all of them Ugandans, winning the competition when he beat Ian in the semi and Glorious in the final. That's action I was streaming from the Kitale city in Kenya. But now the current stream is for the grand final of the Q Masters International Carnival 2nd edition. Again pitting a Ugandan again and a Tanzanian. Now the glitchy network will not stop Caesar from winning a 10th in the final, will not stop him from turning himself into an overwhelming favorite now for the victory. The Scorpion is within 1 frame out of 4 for him to win a second comp in 7 days for the very first time in his career. Abdallah Miraji and Tanzania 7, Caesar Chandiga and Uganda 10.
Okay. We are going to have users match. Uncomfortable. Then in 5 minutes, we shall have the final activities. On table number 3 and 2. So as you play this side, the losers will be warming up that side.
Now, dear viewers, there goes the break of frame number 18 by the Scorpion. It is right. Mbong will need all of his experience, all of his quality, all of the lessons that he has learned from missing some competitions from other players who have inspired him to take on a player that he really has demonstrated that he loves beating, to stand a chance of beating him and winning 4 frames all in a row. He must be playing well. He must also be lucky, because for the if Mbong wins this frame, Caesar will need to win 1 out of the remaining 3, and yes, Caesar will have 1 of them to be the breaking player. Sometimes when you are not the player on the break, you need a little bit of luck because your opponent could break and finish with you not having a say in the frame. The table has been closed by Mbong playing yellows, but he couldn't do much after closing the table, and it's tempting a little for Caesar to go for the frame now. Potting playing the key ball into a dead red off cushion and splitting it open, having some relative difficulty putting any of the 6 reds on the table as we speak. Here he goes. Looks worrying. If you're a Tanzanian, looks worrying. If you're a fan of Tanzanian pool, it looks worrying. Even when you are Mbongo himself, you are watching what looks like a clearance that could win for Caesar a second competition in a row in just 7 days, in just 2 countries, 1 border apart, having won the Billiards Cafe Double Life competition in Lusaka, Zambia, just 7 days ago. Now looks set to win yet another comp in a different country by the same player in the same sport, making himself one of the most dominant players on the African continent today. He has been a participant in a final where his opponent has given him some bloody nose. We have seen all the good qualities of Mbongo. We have as well seen the good qualities of Caesar. We have seen him under pressure sometimes in the match. We have also seen him winning 3 frames in a row twice in a match. Same applies to Mbongo. But in the end of the day, it is starting to seem like the Scorpion, like many times before, will be the last player to laugh in the final, on the verge of winning yet another comp. After Billiards, just 7 days ago, after the Grand Michana 2024, after Queens 2023, the Scorpion is now making himself a winner of a 4th major African Cup all in a row, establishing himself with no shadow of doubt as one of the best players in the continent today. Caesar puts black to the center pocket and confirms himself as a champion. And there goes the tournament, there goes the match, there goes the final, there goes our champion, having out-competed close to 100 players after shooting pool for 4 days, after eliminating 7 players in one life, eliminating only 2 players in another life, making himself a winner of yet another major comp on Tanzanian soil, where he came short when he came second last time round at Q Masters in Dar es Salaam. Final score in the final, Caesar Chandiga 11, Abdallah Miraji 7.